his actions have demonstrated that his philosophy would be the same as that. It is such an important thing for all Americans to know what their rights are and how our system was supposed to work. And this was a very important part of early America, teaching, civics and understanding of government. In fact, Alexis de Tocqueville remarked on how incredibly well-informed the American people were. And as we've gone away from that, I think it makes it much easier for people to do things, and we don't even know that something is wrong. For instance, the Constitution talks about, civil issues and how they should be handled at the local or state level. Why? Because the people there have the say, and the legislators and the judges there are subject to the will of the people. When you move those issues up into the federal system, those judges don't have to answer to the people. So they really shouldn't be dictating or determining the way that the people live.
An indication of the kind of justice you would appoint to the Supreme Court if you are successful in your presidential race. Let's go to John in Aberdeen, Washington. You're on the Michael Medved Show with Ben Carson.
It's a pleasure to speak to you, Dr. Carson. It's an honor to talk to you. I'm actually returning from a visit at Mary Bridge Children's Hospital. My daughter is on 3 different types of seizure medications. Those medications are failing her. She just recently suffered a seizure Friday and in the doctor's office today. My question to you is, what is your stance on either A, having the FDA stop interfering with the synthesized CBD trials? They've gone through one and they're interfering with the second trial, or lessening the federal restrictions on marijuana so that CBD oil from that plant can be distributed to seizure suffering children.
Maybe we can broaden that more specifically to your thoughts on legalized marijuana, either medical, recreational, or both, Dr. Carson.
Well, certainly the use of marijuana for medical purposes in the appropriate avenues, the oils, the pills, things of that nature, has been proven to be quite beneficial, and I certainly don't see any reason why that should not be done. Recreational use I feel a little differently about, given the fact that we know that regular exposure to such agents in a developing brain can be very deleterious and can affect one's IQ. We don't need to have people running around with lower IQs than they might normally have, so I am not in favor of that.
Let's go quickly to Joe in Tacoma, Washington. Joe, you're on the Michael Medved Show with Dr. Ben Carson. Hello, Joe. Ben Carson.
Okay, can you hear me, Mike?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Dr. Carson, you have an amazing story. You're an honorable man, and it would be wonderful to have someone of your caliber in the White House.
Thank you.
We've had quite an absence in the last 7.5 years. My question is this. I'm very concerned about the assertive nature of Vladimir Putin and Russia in the Middle East. I just heard today that there's 4 new warships that they're sending to that region. What would a Dr. Carson or a President Carson do to counteract that?
Well, first of all, you would recognize that, Vladimir Putin has great aspirations. And, he was very disappointed with the dissolution of the Soviet Union and really wants to reestablish the influence worldwide, and particularly in the Middle East. He already has some deep relationships there. He became familiarized with Ali Khamenei, the supreme leader of Iran, as well as Mahmoud Abbas. In 1968, they were classmates, the latter two, and he became familiar with them then. So they have long-lasting, deep relationships. He wants to expand his influence And what we have to do is be willing to stand up to him. He will push as far as we allow him to push. And, last week when one of his generals said, you guys should not fly in this area, we should just tell him to go take a flying leap. We'll fly wherever we want to. We have to be bold. And I think I would establish a no-fly zone. I would tell Vladimir Putin that I was doing all this, by the way. I think we have to stay in communication about what we're doing, but not back down. And also recognize in the rest of the world, we need to face him down there too. The whole, basin area, the Baltic Basin area. We have to have more than one or two armored brigades. I would reestablish the missile defense system in Eastern Europe. I would take advantage of the fact that he is weak now because of the low oil prices. He's a one-horse show, energy, and get rid of our energy exportation rules and begin to export energy, particularly natural gas, which we can now liquefy, and make Europe and other parts of the world dependent on us, which greatly decreases his influence. And we need to fight him on all the different fronts.
That's Dr. Ben Carson, his brand new book, More Perfect Union, What We the People Can Do to Reclaim Our Constitutional Liberties. Dr. Carson, appreciate your time with